Sri Lankans will be heading to the polls on the 14th of November to elect the country's next parliament. This was after President Anura Dissanayake declared snap parliamentary polls in what is seen as a strategic move by him to garner a fresh mandate as he is now challenged with the uphill task of economic recovery.
Marxist politician Anura Disanayake's victory and his swearing in as Sri Lanka's new president marked a big shift in the island nation's politics, away from traditional parties and the political elite. It was a rejection of the old guard that the people accused of taking the country to economic crisis. Dissanayake promised to strengthen the economy and work hard to win people's trust, saying he's no magician. 2 months on, there are signals of the economy stabilizing, supported by an IMF bailout and other reforms. But there's also no denying public anger over continued high inflation, unemployment, and the slow pace of recovery. There's still some way Dissanayake has to go.
At the moment, Sri Lanka faces many issues that span from economic to social and even political uncertainty. I expect a solution-based parliament that is knowledgeable and puts the public first. I also hope they will work on flourishing our resources instead of selling our resources to others.
The law is not equal to all. The younger generation's hopes have been crushed. School children face issues in the education system. No one is satisfied. Even the business community is unsure about the future of their businesses. Corruption is on the rise as well. So I hope they provide solutions for these issues.
The youth of this country deserve a developed nation. A lot of people have financial issues. It is everyone's dream to own a house or a vehicle and move on with life. But that is only a privilege for a few. That disparity must not exist. I'm 100% sure that the President will get a majority support in Parliament.
Political analysts have pointed out the call for elections as a strategically thought-out move. Dissanayake knows that numbers in Parliament are critical to any forward movement for his agenda, and the sooner the better. For one, Dissanayake looks to ride the momentum. He polled 42.3% in September. He'll be hoping to ride the same wave of approval and consolidate power in Parliament. Fulfilling his pro-poor campaign promises of reducing taxes and freeing up public revenue for tax relief will prove difficult without this backing. He'll need Parliament support to pass the budget. Numbers in Parliament will also strengthen Dissanayake's hand in negotiations with bondholders. Lack of numbers in Parliament also meant that he was unable to name a fully fledged cabinet. Harini Amar Surya as PM and Vijeta Herath as a minister is all he has. Again, numbers in Parliament are critical to any expansion plans.
He needs to form a cabinet. It's a little difficult to go with a cabinet of 3. So, and he talks about a 25% cabinet. He needs 25 people who will work with him in Parliament. Generally speaking, Parliament has got authority over the making of laws, and under Article 148, it has got complete control over all finances. So therefore, it will be difficult for a president, however powerful he may think, people may think that role is, to not have a cooperative parliament.
Can this election act as a repair mechanism for Sri Lanka? Anura Dissanayake has defined his biggest task as being pulling the country out of the current economic crisis with the support of the citizens, and the elections are a critical step forward. It's only the first step, however, perhaps lending him strength for a long road ahead. How Dissanayake deals with the ongoing agreement with the IMF, negotiates with Sri Lanka's creditors, and manages the complex geopolitical area of the Indian Ocean will impact the future of the island nation. Can he win over the first big challenge of the lot?
President Dissanayake will be looking to increase his party power quite significantly from the current stance of just 3 seats, as he is expected to cross the 113 seat mark in a 225-member House. Let's now take a look at the challenges the president faces.
President Anura Dissanayake will be looking in these parliamentary elections to break away from tormented times of Sri Lanka's recent past. 113 seats in the 225-member House is the number he needs for a majority. The most serious challenger to Anura Dissanayake's party, the National People's Power, will be the SJB party led by Sajith Premadasa, who placed second in the recent presidential vote. The SLPP minus the 4 senior Rajapaksa brothers, but still featuring the 38-year-old Nammal Rajapaksa, is a shadow of its former self. Its plank is Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. Also competing for a slice of the electorate is the SBA alliance headed by former Rajapaksa ally and media tycoon Dilith Jayavira. And that's besides the smaller ethnic parties representing Muslims, Tamils and others, either running on their own or in alliance with bigger parties. With a weak and divided opposition, AKD's National People's Power appears well placed to win. Adding to the boost in NPP's popularity is the decision taken by many prominent MPs in Sri Lanka to not contest the upcoming election. Many MPs are retreating from the political stage, either because of the decline in their political capital, fear of electoral defeat, or a recognition that Sri Lanka's political landscape is undergoing significant changes. This would also mean that Sri Lanka's next new parliament, which will convene for the first time on the 21st of November, will possibly see a majority of new and fresh faces enter the legislation process. The election, one hopes, will be a path to a new chapter for Sri Lanka, a bigger breakaway from the quagmire of recent times.